What magic you have done! I am so happy, my beloved child. Something happened last night that you may not fully understand yet, but deep within your heart, you may already feel that something has shifted. There was a moment, perhaps while you were sleeping, perhaps in the quiet space between one thought and another, when everything around you seemed ordinary, yet something beyond what you could see was beginning to move. And now, as you are hearing these words, I want you to pay very close attention, because this message is not here by accident. There is a reason you found it at this exact moment. There is a reason your eyes stopped here when you could have continued scrolling. There is a reason something inside you said, "Listen." Don't skip, because the next few moments may reveal why your recent emotions, unexpected thoughts, strange sense of anticipation, or sudden feeling of peace have been happening. Something huge is waiting for you, and the most surprising part is that it may already have started before you realized it. Last night was not simply another night. Something changed in the story that you have been living, and although you may not yet see the full picture, the pieces are moving into place. Stay till the end, because there is something important you need to hear before this message is over. You have been wondering why certain things have taken so long, why some doors seemed impossible to open, why certain people disappeared from your path, and why your heart has sometimes felt as though it was waiting for news that never arrived. But what if the silence was not the ending? What if it was preparation? What if the delay was creating space for something far greater than what you originally expected? Think about the moments when you almost gave up. Think about the nights when you smiled during the day but quietly carried questions in your heart when nobody was watching. Think about how many times you told yourself, maybe it is never going to happen. And now imagine that the very thing you thought was finished was never finished at all. Imagine that while you were looking at the closed door, something was already happening on the other side. This is why I am asking you to stay focused. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you, and the revelation becomes more powerful as you continue. There are moments in life when nothing appears to be changing, yet beneath the surface, everything is changing. You cannot see the roots growing beneath the soil, but one day the ground suddenly breaks open and a new life appears. You cannot see the sunrise while standing in darkness, but the sky is already preparing to change. And perhaps that is exactly where you are right now. You may think you are waiting for something to happen, when in reality, something has already begun. Last night may have been the quiet turning point you never expected. There may have been a decision, a realization, a change in circumstances, or a movement that you cannot yet see clearly. And the reason this matters is because the next chapter of your life may not look anything like the chapter you have been trying so hard to escape. Stay till the end. Don't skip. There is more to this than a simple message of hope. There is a deeper connection between what happened recently and what may soon become visible. Perhaps you noticed a strange feeling yesterday. Perhaps you suddenly remembered someone. Perhaps you woke up at an unusual hour. Perhaps you felt an unexplained calm after a period of confusion. Maybe you looked at the time and felt that something about that moment was strangely meaningful. These details may seem small, but sometimes the smallest moments become the beginning of the biggest changes. You have been trained to look for dramatic signs, loud announcements, instant answers, and obvious miracles. But life often changes quietly first. A message is written before it is sent. A decision is made before it is announced. A journey begins before the first step becomes visible to everyone else. And that is why you must not dismiss the quiet signals around you. Something huge is waiting for you, but it may arrive differently from what you imagined. You may have been expecting one specific answer, one particular person, one exact opportunity, or one perfect moment. But what is coming may be bigger because it may connect several unfinished pieces of your life at once. One conversation could change your understanding of the past. One opportunity could change your direction. One unexpected piece of information could explain why certain events happened the way they did. And when that moment arrives, you may look backward and finally understand why the waiting period was necessary. Don't skip this part, because there is another layer you need to understand. You have spent too much time measuring your future by your past. You have allowed yesterday's disappointments to tell you what tomorrow is allowed to become. But yesterday does not have the authority to write tomorrow's story. The fact that something did not happen before does not mean it cannot happen now. The fact that someone walked away does not mean everyone will leave. The fact that one opportunity disappeared does not mean opportunity itself disappeared. The fact that you experienced a difficult season does not mean your entire life must remain difficult. There comes a moment when you have to stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and begin asking, "What is this preparing me for?" That question changes everything. Stay till the end, because you are closer to an important realization than you think. Something huge is waiting for you, but first you must recognize the difference between what you lost and what you were being redirected toward. Sometimes you call it loss because you cannot yet see the destination. Sometimes you call it rejection because you cannot yet see the protection. Sometimes you call it delay because you cannot yet see the preparation. And sometimes you call it an ending because you cannot yet see the beginning that is forming behind it. Last night may have represented one of those invisible transitions. The old version of your story may be losing its power, while a new version is quietly taking shape. You may soon notice that things that once felt impossible begin to feel natural. You may find yourself thinking differently, responding differently, and expecting differently. That inner shift matters. Because before circumstances change, your perspective often changes first. Before the outside world gives you evidence, something inside you begins to believe again. And perhaps that is why you are here right now. Perhaps you needed to hear these words before the next part of your journey became visible. Don't skip. Stay till the end. The most important realization may not be about what is coming toward you, it may be about who you are becoming while you wait. You are not the same person who entered the difficult season. You survived conversations that once would have broken you. You learned from situations that once confused you. You became stronger in places where you thought you were becoming weaker. You learned to recognize what deserves your energy and what does not. You discovered that peace is sometimes more valuable than being understood. You discovered that not every unanswered question deserves to control your life. And now, something is beginning to shift. You may not have the final answer yet, but you have reached a point where the old uncertainty can no longer define you. That is why the timing of this message matters. Something huge is waiting for you, and the first revelation is this: the story may already be changing before the evidence arrives. So when you wake up tomorrow, do not look at your life with the same eyes. Pay attention to the opportunities that appear unexpectedly. Pay attention to the conversations that suddenly feel different. Pay attention to the ideas that arrive with unusual clarity. Pay attention to the doors that open without you forcing them. And most importantly, pay attention to the peace that comes when you realize you no longer need to chase what is meant to meet you halfway. There is something ahead that you cannot fully see yet, and that is exactly why you must remain present. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next part of this journey may reveal why last night felt different, why your heart has been sensing change, and why the next chapter could arrive much sooner than you think. You have not come this far for nothing. The silence was not meaningless. The waiting was not wasted. The tears were not invisible. The lessons were not pointless. And the moment you thought nothing was happening may have been the moment everything began moving. So breathe deeply, stay with me, and listen carefully, because what comes next may change the way you understand everything that happened before this moment. The greatest surprise may not be that something is coming. The greatest surprise may be discovering that it has been moving toward you all along.